Hi, this is Marvelyn Brown with Inner Word Business Services, and today we're going to talk about doing the right things with the wrong people. So there are a lot of us, me included, who, we seem to be doing the right thing. We're doing the things that we're told to do, the things that we've been trained to do, and then the things that we think are just kind of common sense type things that we are, steps that we're taking in our business to move it forward. However, we're not getting the results. We're not making the kind of sales that we need to make. No one is calling us. Our phone's not ringing. No one's sending us an email. No one is asking us about our business. And what happens a lot of times is we find ourselves going out and trying to have conversations, really kind of frustrating, awkward conversations with people about our business, when, a lot of times people that we're reaching out to just really could care less. And so if you find yourself in that position, you are not alone. Everybody has experienced it, but you want to move past that, because what happens is if you stay frustrated long enough, if you're not getting results, then eventually you're probably going to quit. And, quitting is not an option when maybe you've been laid off from your job. Maybe you don't have a lot of, solutions. So that's the reason for this video. And that's the reason for the recommendation that I'm going to make at the end of the video. Whether you take that recommendation or not, just take a few minutes, look at this, and then you may get some ideas that can really help you turn things around. So, doing the right things with the wrong people has been the age-old problem since, people really started trying to work online. And a lot of times it's because we place our focus in the wrong area. So the second big question is, how do you sell if you don't know who you're selling to? And this is where I made my mistake. And this is where I see a lot of people that I talk to, I see them going out, and, they put the emphasis on the product right off the bat. They focus on the features of the product. They think the product is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And so they automatically assume that everyone else feels that way as well. And then, when you make that assumption, you tend to go out, you start talking to any and everybody, anyone with a pulse. And, you find that a lot of people are not really a good fit for your company. They're not a good fit for your company. They're not a good fit for your product. And so you end up striking out and wasting a lot of time talking to the wrong people. So one of the first principles of attraction marketing, and really attraction marketing is where you want to be. You want people coming to you. You don't want to have to run out and hunt down people and instant message people on social media, asking them to try your product. You want them to have an interest in your product, and you want them to reach out to you, because that's how today's consumer operates. No one wants a, door-to-door salesman coming up, handing them a pamphlet or a piece of literature. No one wants anyone coming up to them on social media asking, do you have a few minutes? Well, no, actually I don't. And those are the kinds of responses that you're going to get when you reach out and you try to promote to people who are not interested. So back to the question, how do you sell if you don't know who you're selling to? And so that's what you have to figure out. A lot of us, and like I said, I did the same thing. When I started out, I put the emphasis on my product first and was out there just, promoting. I was talking about how great it was. I talked about my company. I used the brand name of my product and told everybody exactly what it was. When you do those kinds of things, it makes you look like an amateur. And then what happens is when you give your audience the name of the product, they know nothing about you. They don't even know if they want to work with you. So therefore, if it sounds interesting to them, they're going to go out, they're going to Google it. They're going to maybe, if it sounds like something interesting, they're going to reach out to somebody online, whoever that rep is that's doing the same thing, selling the same product and the same services that you are. They're going to buy from that person because they were able to find them online. So if you're doing everything offline if you are doing everything with face-to-face meetings, or maybe you're probably not having home parties right now just because of the situation we're in. But if you're doing everything one-on-one and just setting up one-on-one meetings or whatever, that's the wrong way to do it. And so what you want to do is you want to take that focus off your product. You don't want to use your product name. You don't want to tell people the name of your company. What you want to do is you want to focus on who you are selling to. So what I did was I did this exercise. I put together this really simple exercise. We're going to go through it. And hopefully this will help you to understand how important it is to know who you're selling to. So we're going to stick with the weight loss thing. We're going to just stick with that theme. So, we have a weight loss product. We have two people. We have Tamara on the left and we have Michelle on the right. Tamara is your BFF. She's someone that you've known since forever. She's 25 years old. You know that because you have been friends. She's married. You know that she has two kids and that she loves science, animals, and running. And it looks like maybe she works in either healthcare or science related field because she's holding up a test tube. So she may work in a lab or work in a hospital or whatever. So we know this about Tamara. On the other hand, we have Michelle. So Michelle is a complete stranger. We know nothing about her except what we can glean from this picture. So now, who do you think would be easier to sell to? No matter what your product or service is, and this is the thing that I want you to take away from this. No matter what your product or service is, the more you know about who would be a best fit for that product, the easier it's going to be to sell that product. Or if you can't sell that product to, the specific individual, you can rule them out and move on. So then you're not wasting your time trying to sell a product or service to someone who could care less. You get fewer of the people who could care less and more of the people who are really interested, really looking for, and really have an appreciation for what you're trying to promote. So with Tamara, because we know she loves science, we know that she loves animals, we know that she loves running. So that means that she might be into health and wellness. She may, because she runs, maybe she is trying to take care of herself, or she may be more sports oriented. Because she loves science, she knows the benefits of taking care of herself from a healthcare perspective. So we know this about Tamara. Now, Michelle, on the other hand, we know nothing about her. So we really don't know what her interests are. We don't know if she would be interested in a weight loss product. Now, you can look at these two ladies and tell that they are not in need of a weight loss product. However, think about the thousands, the hundreds of thousands, the millions of people who are out there looking for products and services online. You're not going to be able to necessarily look at those folks and tell what they're into and what they would be a good candidate for. You have to create something from scratch. So, on this side, we have someone that we know a lot about. On the other side, we have someone that we know absolutely nothing about. So we want to be somewhere here in the middle where we know we've gathered a little bit of data. We know a little bit about the kinds of people that we want to attract to our business. So, for example, do you want to attract people who are not qualified to buy your product or service? And what I mean by qualified is, are they able to buy your product or service? Maybe they can't afford your product or service because it costs too much. It's not within their budget. Maybe they are not a good candidate because, for example, these two ladies wouldn't be a good candidate for a weight loss product because neither one of them is overweight. So why would you want to sell a weight loss product to someone who is not overweight? So depending on what you are trying to promote, you have to find an audience. You have to kind of pull an audience out of thin air, and you have to and this is what marketers do all the time. This is what people do. These big corporations gather data about who their ideal customer is. Who do they want to sell products and services to? Who would be most likely to buy their products and services? And so because, once they get that information, once they have kind of mapped out who they want to sell to, then they go and they sell to those people. But they're not trying to sell to everybody. And they're not trying to, lead with their products. They place the focus on their customers. They place the focus on the customer. They figure out what their customers' needs are, what their customers' wants are, what motivates their customers, and then they provide a solution. So hopefully that helps you to understand, having data, having information about your ideal customer is going to make them a lot easier to sell to versus not having any information and just trying to sell to everyone. Because, if I try to approach Michelle with this weight loss product, she's going to look at me like I'm an alien from outer space, like she doesn't need to lose weight. So why would she buy that? She would not. So I would be wasting my time taking my weight loss product to Michelle. I would be wasting my time taking my weight loss product to Tamara as well. But if I had a product that was related to running, or if I had a science related product, or a pet or animal related product, she may be interested in that. So I'm going to be a lot better at selling those kinds of products to Tamara. And then once I learn more about Michelle through either like surveys or, focus groups or working with maybe Facebook groups or other groups online, I'm going to understand more about what maybe Michelle would like as well. But you got to know something about who you're selling to. That's basically what I want you to take out of this. And then the more data you have about those folks, the better off you're going to be. So this first solution that I'm going to recommend to you is a workbook. And this workbook helps you to analyze your business. So it's going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. It's going to ask you everything you could possibly think about and some stuff that you haven't thought about your customers. You're going to analyze your business and how it relates to your ideal customers so that you can make the right connections. You can know what to say. You can know who to say it to, which is so important, and also where to place your message. So placing your message in the wrong place can also cost you time, energy, and money. So you want to get much closer to achieving results by working with more of your ideal customers. Now, this other question that I have for you is, how do you know if your product is the best solution? So just like I said before, I started my business leading with my product, but I was leading with product features. I wasn't thinking about whether the product was the best solution. I didn't even really think about the problem that the product helped to solve. All I thought about was, it's a great product. It's very convenient. I thought about the convenience. That was the thing that attracted me to the product, was that it was so convenient. However, without knowing who I was selling to and without even, thinking about whether it was a good fit for the person that I wanted to sell to, I was really missing the boat. I was missing the boat. And this is what a lot of people are doing. They're totally missing the boat. They talk about features. They talk about how great their product is. They name the product by brand name, and they name their company. And my company is so wonderful. And, it costs this much and it's very affordable. No one cares. So what you have to do is you have to focus in on the right aspects of your product to know whether it's a good solution. It's the best solution. So this second workbook will help you to analyze your products and look at your products in the right way. You're going to know why your product or service is a great fit for your ideal customers. You're also going to be able, at the end of, answering all of those questions and thinking about your products, you're going to be able to speak directly to the right people and attract them to you. You're going to be able to work with more of them. So Attraction marketing is the one thing that, and some people don't even know, like they talk about attraction marketing, but they don't know what it is. And really, attraction marketing means that you are attracting the right people to your business, the people that you want to work with, because you don't want to work with everybody. There are some people out there that are an absolute nightmare, that you don't even want them anywhere around you. You want to work with people who are actively looking, or they have identified that they may have a need for your product or service in the future. Those are the folks you want to work with, the people who are able to buy your product. In other words, they have the budget, they have the authority, the buying authority. So when I say buying authority, what I mean by that is in the household, a lot of times, there's someone who makes the buying decision. A lot of times it might be the wife, or, maybe the wife might have to talk it over with the husband, depending on how much your product costs. If it's a major purchase, a lot of times couples want to talk about those kinds of decisions before they go out and spend a lot of money. If you have a lower priced item, then, people make their own decisions about what they want to buy. So you want someone who is qualified, someone who has the money, they have the ability, and they also have the authority, especially when you have business to business transactions that you're doing. If you're selling to other businesses, then you want to talk to the right buyer. You don't want to talk to someone who can't make a buying decision. So that's what I mean by buying authority. You want to, have an ideal customer mapped out, and you want to have your products positioned in a way that will, make that connection with the right people. So that is really where attraction marketing comes in, so that you're not out running around making phone calls and, spamming people and messaging people on Facebook and things like that, when you can do things in a much more professional way that really helps to position you too as a authority. So with these workbooks, you can either get the customer workbook or you can get the product workbook. I've also bundled it together so that you can save a little money when you buy both. But this is the thing, you can complete these workbooks anywhere because they are editable PDFs. So you can use them while you are on the go, on your cell phone, on your tablet, or your laptop. You can print them out and write out your answers with a pen. You can cut and paste the questions into your favorite word processor and use it as kind of a working document, because this is the thing, as your business grows, you're going to be, changing things. You're going to be working with more customers. And this is what I would recommend. If you get the customer workbook and you start on that, just focus on one product, 2 products at the most. Don't try to, map out customers for all the products at once, because it can be very overwhelming. There are a lot of questions in that workbook and you don't want to get overwhelmed. So focus on one product and one customer avatar, and you'll learn more about customer avatars in the workbook. But you want to just kind of narrow down your focus on one product. Then once you get that one done, then start working maybe with other types of customers that might be a good fit for your product. But you want the customer book and you also want the product book if possible. But these are workbooks that you can complete anywhere. Now, this is how the bundle is going to help you. And these are the things that, a lot of businesses overlook. They don't identify their ideal customer. So this book is going to help you do that. These workbooks will help you identify who you want to work with. Who are your ideal customers? You want to know what motivates them. You want to get inside their head and understand more about what motivates them to make a purchase. You want to know how to attract them to you. What wording, what keywords, what phrases do you want to use when you're writing out your ads, when you make your sales copy, when you write out your emails, your product descriptions, when you're on social media? What kinds of images, what kinds of wording do you need to put into your media, into your marketing materials that will attract your audience to you? And then number 4, you want to build a relationship that allows you to sell more. So for example, if you have a home and your plumbing goes bad, you have a leaky faucet, and you call a plumber and they come in and they do an excellent job, you're going to want to call that plumber again if you have a need in the future. So that's what you want to do. You want to be the solution that is so great that your customers are going to come back to you over and over again as they have issues. And so that's why it's very important for you to stay in touch, build relationships. And when you build relationships, it helps your business to thrive. You know, if someone just comes to your business and they buy one thing and they never come back, that means you're having to start all over from scratch, you know, with other people. The other great thing is when you do things well, your customers are going to recommend you to other people. So you're going to get that word of mouth marketing. You're going to have the marketing that you do through social media and online through your website, etc. And so those are the things that really help your business to take off. But you kind of have to reposition yourself and put the focus on the customer, because as they say, the customer is king. And really, even though you're the person with the solution, you have the product, you know, if you skip over the customer, you're missing out on, you know, really your entire business. So now I've also put together some bonus materials. These are just 2 worksheets that I am including with this because these are 2 things that will really help you as well. The first worksheet is more about personal development. So this is just a place where you can print these out or you can do them online, but they will help you with your goals, your to-dos, and help you to focus in on wellness. So there's a little place where you can write down, you know, what you've eaten, your water intake, your to-dos, your things on your schedule if you have appointments, and then a place for you to put notes. You can also write down things like books that you're reading, videos that you've watched, and things that can help you kind of go back and trace, you know, how you got from point A to point B. Now, the other worksheet has to do with SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is a really great exercise, especially if you are working as a team. Your team can get together once a quarter maybe and just have a planning session where you talk about your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats. And you want to always be in continuous improvement mode. And so this SWOT analysis sheet will help you with that as well. So this is pretty much it. I hope that you've got something out of this video, and I hope that you will also take action, purchase those workbooks, get started, you know, writing down and documenting all of the things that, you know, you need to document so that you can come up with the things that you need to turn your business around, position yourself as an authority, position yourself as someone who knows what they're doing, position yourself as a sales professional so that you can get the results you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I appreciate your time today, and I hope to see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.